Yes. Pick out page number 27. Page number 27. We have completed plant tissues, right? We have did plant tissues, namely protective tissue, supporting tissue, and conducting tissues. So in protective tissue, we just have the epidermal cells which cover our body also, our skin surface, and in plants also, epidermis is there. That is about protective tissue. Supporting tissue, there are three: parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and collenchyma. Now, parenchyma, you all know, parenchyma is the filler tissue. Why it is known as the filler tissue? It is because it fills itself with food materials. It mainly helps in the storage of food. Then second is the collenchyma, which colon means glue. That means it sticks and it supports the other cells together, right? They are found in the leaf stalks below the epidermis of stems. So they basically support the plant parts. That's why they are known as supportive tissue. And the last one, sclerenchyma, that means hard. Sclerose means hard. That means hard means it will protect the other tissues. It functions as a protective tissue, right? Now, the last one, conducting tissues. I'm just briefly explaining this for your reference. Conducting tissue, they are known as vascular bundles or vascular tissues. And then they are divided into two, xylem and phloem. Xylem is mainly considered with transport of water and minerals, right? And phloem is considered with the transport of food materials. Now, xylem has different parts: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma fibers. Phloem also have seed tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. So we have just said a brief explanation of all this we have discussed. So I hope you got the point. What are tracheids? What are vessels? And everything. Do we all have any doubt in the previous topics?
No doubt, ma'am.
No
No
doubt.
doubt, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So come to page number 27. Page number 27. Before that, on page number 26, there's a summary of plant tissues. In the last right-hand side, page number 26, a summary of plant tissues is given. And we will just have a look at it. Plant tissues divided into meristematic and permanent tissues, right? Now, meristematic are the actively dividing cells and permanent are the non-dividing cells. And meristematic found at all growing points, permanent gives particular shape and particular functions. That means I told you that these permanent tissues are nothing but the mature meristematic tissues. When these meristematic tissues grow and attain maturity at some point of time, these are known as permanent tissues. That means the mature meristematic tissues are known as the permanent tissues. Then they are further divided into protective, supporting, and conducting complex. Protective, I told you right now, they are found on the surface of the leaves, the epidermis, etc. Supportive, there is there, and then conducting is there. Conducting consists of vascular bundles, xylem, and phloem. Then supportive, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Supportive is further divided into these three. You all know the description. Parenchyma, filler tissue, collenchyma, supportive tissue, and this one, sclerenchyma, is the protective tissue. Then vascular bundles are xylem and phloem. I told you water conducting is the xylem. Food conduction is done by phloem. That's it. This is just a short summary of the plant tissues. Now we will move forward to animal tissues. Page number 27, topic 3.3, animal tissues. So animal tissues, there are four main kinds of animal tissues, right? What are they? In your book, it's given epithelial tissues, first one. Second one, connective tissue. Third one is the muscle tissue. And fourth one is the nervous tissue. Now, what is epithelial tissue? We'll just have a short look and then we'll move briefly into that afterwards. Yes. So epithelial tissue is made up of thin sheet of cells, right? These are thin, like you all know, in plants, we have epidermis, which protects, which is present on the outer surface of roots, leaves, etc. What it do? it basically protects the surface or the plant body by it. Since it is present on the surface of the plant body, it functions as a protective layer. Similarly, epithelial tissue also, it is present in our body. It is present on the surfaces, like surface of the body, outermost layer of skin can be given as an example, right? So epithelial tissues are basically the protective tissues. From the name itself, you can make out that they are present on the surface of the organism, body of an organism, and thus they protect them, right? They have a layering of themselves on the whole body surface, and they do the function of protection. This is a short explanation about epithelial tissue. What is connective tissue? Connective. From the name itself, it is clear that we are talking about connection. That means binding together of some other tissues. So this connective tissue binds together some other tissues. It will bind together and it will also bind with them, and thus they form a network. Muscle tissue. From muscle, what you know, muscle is meant for body movements, right? Our hands, legs, everything in our body contains muscles. It basically helps in movement, body movement. So muscle basically what they do, they contract and they relax. Contraction means they expand themselves, and relaxation means they regain their original size. So when they expand and regain their original size, that means they are contracting like this. Well, like heartbeat also, when contraction takes place in heart, beats occurs. Similarly, our body muscles also, they contract and relax. And due to that contraction and relaxation, we are able to move our body parts. Clear? Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Then the last is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue, from the name itself, you know, it is about nerves. And where we can find nerves? In our brain, right? In our nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. So nervous tissue will be found in the brain, spinal cord, and so on. All the nervous systems, right? So it consists of the nervous system. The nervous tissue consists of the nervous system. So basically in nervous system, we will be talking about the structure of a nerve, what all it contains, what is its function, and so on, right? So this was just a brief, short explanation on all the 4 types of tissues. Now we will go into the description. Epithelial tissue. Now, I told you epithelial tissue, like the epidermis in the plant, epithelial tissues are also present on the body surface of the organism. That means, for example, you can take skin. Best example is skin. On the surface of skin, these epithelial tissues are present. Also in the inner lining of stomach. That means our stomach has some inner linings. It has intestine, it has a large intestine, small intestine, and above that, inside the stomach, there's some inner lining. There also these epithelial tissues are present. Why? To protect the intestine, right? It is doing the function of protection. That's why they are present on the stomach, inner lining of stomach. Also, they are continuous sheet of cells. That means they should be continuous cells because they have to form a layer. If they are not continuous, if they are placed in a gap-like manner, like one here, then they cannot form a protective covering, right? To form a protective covering, they should be continuous in nature. They should arrange themselves continuously in a continuous sheet, right? Then talking about their shape, they are flat, they are cuboidal, and they can be columnar. Columnar means they look like columns, right? So location, you all know, I told you location is in skin and inner lining of stomach, etc. Many things are there. Mouth is also there, nose is also there, lungs is also there. But the main 2 examples I'm giving you is of skin and stomach, inner lining, right? Shape we talked about, flat, cuboidal, and columnar. Then come to function. Now, what is the function? It has basically 2 to 3 functions, but its main function is, we have talked about its main function. What is that? Protection. It gives protection. But also along with protection, it do the secretion part and the excretion part too. Okay, sorry, not the excretion part, the secretion and the absorption. Since these cells are arranged very closely to each other, they do not have intercellular spaces. Thus, they absorb things and also secrete some hormones and enzymes, right? That means secretion as in intestine and protection as on skin. These protect our skin and secrete some substances in our intestine. Also, some sensory perception also they do. Sensory perception means, sensory means related to sense organs. So, related to the functioning of sense organs, they do some sensory functioning also. Now, this epithelial tissue, it is further divided into four. It is further divided into four types. Epithelial tissue is further divided into four types. What are they? Squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, and stratified epithelium. Now, what is a squamous epithelium? Now, if we talk about squamous epithelium, they are very closely packed with each other. Now, look at the diagram given on page number 27. Squamous epithelium, diagram A, squamous epithelium, they are very closely packed to each other. Now, what all you can see? They are closely packed, right? They are polygonal shape, right? And then they are flat and irregular. Like, look, they are not properly polygonal. They have some irregularity in their shape. Irregularity is there. And a nucleus is visible there. Can you see? Nucleus is also very prominent. Now, where are they found? This is all about their structure, their shape. Nucleus is very visible, prominent nucleus is there, cuboidal shape is there, polygonal shape is there, and irregular network is there. Everything comes under shape, right? Now, where they are found? They are found in the lining of mouth, blood vessels, etc. You can see the description of squamous epithelium. They are found in the lining of mouth, nasal cavities, blood vessels, and lymph vessels. Please underline these things. Underline these things, that where are they found. This could be asked in exam. So you have to write where are they found. Found lining in the mouth and nasal cavities, blood vessels, and lymph vessels. Also, now we talk about what is their function. We talked about their shape. We talked about their location, where are they found. And now we are talking about the function. What squamous epithelium do? They protects the underlying parts from mechanical injuries, germs, harmful substances, and also drying up. Drying up means they secrete some substances so that surface remain wet. It will not dry up, right? So all these are the function. These four given below, you can underline that. Protects the underlying parts from mechanical injury, germs, harmful chemicals, and drying up. This much you have to write for the functions of squamous epithelium. The next one is cuboidal epithelium. Now, cuboidal means, from the name itself, it's a cube-like structure, right? It's a cube-like structure. Now you can see B, cuboidal epithelium. It looks round, but the cells are cube-shaped, right? They are a slightly cube-shaped, not fully cube-shaped, but they are slight cube-shaped. Also, the nucleus is very prominent. You can see black dots. Nucleus are very prominent. They are clearly visible. Now, where are they found? The next question is, where are they found? They are found in kidney tubules, glandular ducts, salivary gland, and pancreatic ducts. That means all the ducts, the pancreatic duct, salivary duct, and glandular duct, everywhere, like kidney, all the parts which are near to the kidney, there they are found, right? Now, kidney comes under circulatory system, right? So they are found in kidney tubules, glandular ducts, salivary gland, pancreatic duct. So these are the location of cuboidal epithelium. Now, they do not have such particular function. They are just found in these ducts and glands, so that maybe they will they will do in the ducts and glands. Ducts and glands are mainly responsible for secretion of enzymes, right? So these will obviously secrete. These will obviously help in secretion of enzymes. Now the third one is columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelium. Now you can see the diagram. Columnar epithelium. They are straight. That means they are vertical, right? They are vertically arranged. Now look at the diagram. They are looking like bricks, right? They are looking like bricks arranged in a row, right? So they are brick-like cells. Vertical arrangement is there. And where are they found? In the inner lining of stomach and intestine. Columnar epithelium is found in the inner lining of stomach and intestine. Please underline that. Come to columnar epithelium. Third line, columnar epithelium is generally found in the inner lining of the stomach and intestines. So please underline this much. Now columnar epithelium, they are further divided into two parts, ciliated columnar epithelium and glandular epithelium. Now first we will talk about ciliated columnar epithelium. Where are they found? So they are basically found in the windpipe, right? Windpipe, which passes through our throat. Windpipe, or we can say trachea. Its name is trachea, or we can say windpipe. Now this is ciliated. Ciliated means you can see some protoplasmic projections over there. Like small projections are there. Projection means they will seem like thread-like structures, right? So small projections are there. They are known as cilia. That's why due to the presence of cilia, they are known as ciliated. Sorry, that means they are ciliated in nature. They are called as ciliated. Also, the cilia, it moves continuously, or we can say it beats continuously, without any external support. Cilia beats continuously, or we can say it lashes out continuously so that it can create movement. What does cilia do? Like all the finger-like projections, like if we consider mitochondria also, in that also we have finger-like projections known as cristae. They also move and they also help in the movement, right? So here also cilia beats continuously and it creates movement inside that ciliated columnar epithelium. They help in the movement, right? Now second one is glandular epithelium. They are very large cell. First thing is that they are very large cell. They secrete chemical substances. Glandular epithelium, that means they are related to glands. So glands secrete some enzymes. So here also glandular epithelium secretes chemical substances. They are found in the lining of stomach and intestine. Like we told earlier that columnar epithelium is found in the lining of stomach and intestine. So they are divided into two, ciliated columnar epithelium and glandular epithelium. The ciliated columnar epithelium is found in the trachea or the windpipe. Glandular one is present in the lining of stomach and intestine. So some places this glandular epithelium is folded inward and form tubular glands. That means in some places this epithelium, it is folded inwards and it will form some other tubular glands. What are they? Sweat glands, tear glands, right? Liver, etc. All these are formed by glandular epithelium. Okay? All these are formed by glandular epithelium. Now the last one is stratified epithelium. Stratified means strata. From stratified you can discover strata. Strata, where you can found a strata, where you can find a strata. Strata can be seen in the uppermost layer of like when we study geography, when we study about Earth surface and all. One strata is there. That means strata means a layer. So stratified epithelium is found in the skin and cornea. Cornea, where it is found? In the eyes. So it is found in cornea and the skin. That means on the surface only it is present. Also, it consists of several layers. That means strata. I told you it has layers. So that's why its name is stratified epithelium. It has stratas. So is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now have you all underlined the things which I told you? Please
Yes,
try
ma'am.
to underline all these. Like glandular epithelium also, where are they found? What are the function? At least underline that much so that you can write an exam very easily. Where are they located? What is their function? This much is very necessary. Then along with that, you can write the shape also, how they look, how they are arranged and everything. Now comes the connective tissue. The second one is connective tissue. We have discussed epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissues has four types. What are they? Squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium and stratified epithelium. Now the next one is connective tissue. Connective, I told you, what it will do, it will bind together. That means it will bind other cells together or it will bind along with them. That means its main function is to bind things, right? It will bind things. Binding means it will just attach them, like it will make other things close to them and then it will attach the other things along with them, right? Binding. So connective tissue binds one tissue with another and also connects various organs. That means what connective tissue do? It binds the other tissues together and also connects with the various organs in our body, right? Now they have three characteristics. What are they? First one is abundance of intercellular substance. What is that intercellular substance? It is known as matrix. Now matrix is nothing but a substance present inside these tissues which is liquid in nature, which is transparent and which contains some enzymes, right? That is matrix. Also some fewer cellular elements are present and fibers are present. Now, this connective tissue is further classified into three: connective tissue proper, supportive connective tissue, and fluid connective tissue. So, they are further divided into these three. Now, connective tissue proper, the first one, what it do? It is mainly responsible for the binding of the organs and serves for packing and binding of the organs. So the first one, the connective tissue proper, is responsible for the main function, that is binding of organs. The second one, supportive connective tissue. Supportive means it will obviously give support. That means in not example, there are types given. In bracket, it is written cartilages and bones. Like in our body, bones help in support, right? So they comes under supportive connective tissue. Then comes fluid connective tissue. Fluid means the fluid in our body. What is the fluid in our body? Obviously the blood. Along with blood, lymph is also there. So blood and lymph comes under fluid connective tissue. Now we will discuss it in a brief way. Connective tissue proper. Connective tissue proper, page number 28. Connective tissue proper. So it is further divided into three categories: areolar tissue, fine, adipose tissue, and fibrous connective tissue. Now, what do you mean by areolar? Areolar tissue, it occurs beneath the epidermis of the skin. That means our skin, which is covered by a layering known as epidermis, beneath that, this areolar tissue is found. Now, what it helps in, what is its function? It makes the skin elastic in nature. Like we can just pull our skin like this. It is elastic, right? It is not hard enough. So it can be pulled out. So in some people, you can see the tissue or this skin comes out very finely, like we can see a transparent skin like structure there. That means they have more areolar tissue there, more elasticity is produced. That's why they can do this. Like in the picture you can see elasticity. That means if we pinch the skin, it will come, it will not come out, it will just emerge out, right? It will just bulge out. Then this is the function of areolar tissue, that it will provide elasticity to the skin, right? Now, adipose tissue. Adipose means fat. Adipose is referred
It is
as
containing
fat.
fat in it.
Yes,
It is containing fat in it.
yes. Adipose contains fat in it. So adipose tissue means they contain fat. Now what are they specialized for? They store fat. As we said, they contain fat. That means they are storing fat. Now fat, where all you can found, where in which places in our body fat can be mostly found. It's written here, around the kidneys. It forms a padding under the skin and around kidneys, eyeball, etc. Now you all know our body has fat, right? So they are basically found around the kidneys and the eyeball. This eyeball, it also contains fat. Now this fat, what is the requirement of this fat or this adipose tissue? It acts as an insulation for retaining body heat. That means we are supposed to, or our body is supposed to retain the body heat. Why? If the body heat is not retained, if the temperature is more, it can obviously lead to death also. It can lead to dehydration and so on. So the body heat should be retained or regained, we can say. So this helps in, that means the adipose tissue, it acts as the insulation for retaining the body heat. Now third one, fibrous connective tissue. It is made up of fibers. Fibrous, from the name itself, it is clear that it is made up of fibers. It will form tendons which connect muscle to bone and ligaments which connects bone to bone. That means fibrous connective tissue, they are the first one, before bone and cartilages, fibrous connective tissues are there, which will form tendons. Tendons are the ones who connect muscle to the bone. Muscle is a different thing, bone is a different thing, right? So tendons connect muscle with bone, and also ligaments which connect bone to bone. Bone and bone are connected along with this, with the help of ligaments. So they basically hold them. Fibrous connective tissue, they basically hold them. So this is about the connective tissue proper. These were the categories, 3 categories: areolar tissue, adipose tissue, and fibrous connective tissue. Areolar, found found beneath the epidermis of the skin. Then adipose tissue around the kidneys and eyeball. Fibrous connective tissue, where it is found? It is found in the bone and muscles, right? It will just connect them. Through the help of tendons, it will connect muscle to bone, and through the help of ligaments, it will connect bone to bone, right? Now the next one is supportive connective tissue. Supportive connective tissue. Now supportive connective tissue have again 2 categories, which is cartilage and bone. Now, supportive means they will give support, obviously. Now cartilage, if we talk about cartilage, first thing comes in our mind is it is non-porous tissue. Cartilage is non-porous. That means it does not have pores in it. It has a thick matrix. You all know what is matrix? A substance, a fluid substance, or we can say a transparent substance, watery substance consisting of some enzymes, some proteins, and etc. So it has a thick matrix. It is semi-transparent and elastic. Cartilage is semi-transparent. That means it is a little pass-through substance. Semi-transparent and elastic. Found in nose tips, external ear, trachea, ends of long bones. Now you all know the main difference between cartilage and bone. What is the main difference? Cartilage is soft.
Cartilage is flexible.
Yes, correct, Azim. Cartilage is flexible. Like our nose tip, it can be, it can be tilted. Ear also, it can be tilted. You can see this ear has a little bone-like structure. It is not bone. It is cartilage, right? Also, along with the ends of bones, cartilages are also present. And also in trachea, the windpipe. That means in our windpipe, bone is not present. The windpipe is made up of cartilages so that it could be moved or it could be bended. Elasticity is produced, flexibility, right? So that's why we can just bend our throat also. Our windpipe is also bended in nature. Like from here, it bends. So it is because of the flexibility. It is because of the presence of cartilages, right? Now come to bone. If we talk about bone, it is a porous tissue, right? It is a porous tissue which is hard. Like we can find bone in, we can find bone in our whole body. We can find bone. Bone is present everywhere. So bone basically what it do, it helps us to hold things tightly, right? Bone helps us to hold things tightly. Now, it helps in the supply of blood vessels and nerves. Bones are living cells. So they are not only living, they also have some non-living cells also, but they mainly have some living cells which are known as osteoblasts. In your book, it's given. It consists of both living cells called osteoblasts and a rigid mass of organic salts. Sorry, inorganic salts. So inorganic salts are also present and living cells are also there, known as osteoblasts. It will be pronounced as osteoblast, right? Its spelling is OSTO. It will not be pronounced as osteo. It is osteoblast, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Then, yes. So they are porous, hard in nature, and they helps in the supply of blood vessel, nerves, etc. They have living cells, and also they have some inorganic salts. So this much is about bone. So this comes under supportive connective tissue. Now the last one in this connective tissue is fluid connective tissue. Give me a minute. Yes. The next one is fluid connective tissue. So fluid connective tissue refers to the fluid in our body. Which are the fluids? The blood and the lymph. When we talk about blood, it is composed mainly of two parts. That is, one part is the liquid part and one part is the cellular part. That means one part which contains liquid, one part which contains cellular things. So it is mainly composed of plasma, which is the liquid part. And what are the cellular parts? The WBC, RBC, and
RBC,
platelets.
WBC, and platelets.
Yes, yes, very good. So the WBC, RBC, and platelets are the cellular part of blood. So the mixture of plasma and these cellular parts, which are RBC, WBC, and platelets, this mixture forms blood, right? This mixture forms a liquid known as blood. Now, come to lymph. Lymph is also a fluid which surrounds the body cells, right? It is found along with the blood, but it surrounds the body cells. It is the blood plasma which was oozed out from blood vessels. Now, what is a lymph? It is the part of a blood, right? It is a part of a blood. It is the, the oozed out blood. The blood which is oozed out or squeezed out is known as lymph. The blood which is squeezed out or oozed out from the blood vessels. When the blood is passing through the blood vessels, some amount of blood just squeezes out. So that remaining blood which has squeezed out is known as lymph. Also, it contains RBC and WBC. Like similar to blood, it will also contain RBC and WBC but not platelets. Platelets are found in blood. So both blood
Ma'am,
and lymph, they are concerned with what? They basically do what? Blood is meant for transportation. Lymph is also, because both are
ma'am,
fluids. Yes,
ma'am, it is written there that it contains only white blood cells and not red blood cells.
where it is written in the book.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
sorry, not the red blood cells. Sorry. So lymph only contains the white blood cells. Okay, not the red blood cells, not the platelets. Platelets, red RBC and WBC, three of them are present in the blood. Sorry, I got confused. Yes. So thank you, Azim. So in blood, we can see three of them. What are they? RBC, WBC, and the platelets. And in lymph, when we talk about lymph, only WBCs are there. That means WBCs are there. That means lymph will be what color? It will be some white yellowish color. It will not get a red color, right? So they do not have red blood cell. Now underline that underline that whole thing. Lymph is the fluid surrounding the body cells. It is essentially the blood plasma that has oozed out of the blood vessels. It contains white blood cells and not the red blood cells, right? Now, you also underline this one. Both blood and lymph are mainly concerned with transportation. The fluids in our body, they basically do transportation. Also, blood is responsible for giving immunity, like fighting against diseases. The protection against diseases is known as immunity. So, blood helps in the formation of immunity in the body and also transportation of some materials, right? So this is about blood and lymph, which comes under fluid connective tissue. So this is a little bit confusing topic. Try to understand this. Read all these paragraphs after the class. Whenever you get time, read these paragraphs and try to understand and try to underline things, the main important things. That is, where are they found and what is their function. These two things are very important to write. Where are the particular topic we are talking about? Where are they found and what are their function? So basically everything like areolar tissue, adipose tissue we talked about, everyone has one basic function is there. Some may have two functions. So you have to underline all the functions given and you have to write mainly these things, the location, where are they found and also the functions. Now you can see the diagram of red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Platelets, if you see, they are very small. And, but since they are small, they are very large in number in our blood. They are found in very large number. And if the platelet count drops, it can cause death also. So we have to maintain our platelet count. We have to do a checkup after 6 months of a blood test must be needed. It is done by people. So platelets are very necessary for the blood or for living, right? If the platelets drop, if their count drops, then it is very difficult for the person to live, right? Now you all know that RBCs are red colored cells, red blood cell. So RBC is the one who gives a red color to the blood. WBC, you can see it's a slight yellow color. It's not properly yellow, it's a slight yellow color. They are only found in the lymph. That means the lymph is also this color. The slight yellow color is lymph. And platelets, they are found only in blood, not in the lymph. So nothing to do with the lymph, right? Yes, so today's time is over. Now we will do the next topic, muscle tissue, in the next class. So for today, this much is enough. Yes. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you,
fine.
ma'am.